It's 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's Island Tea. It's Friday, December 29, and I'm here with Kay. What's up?
Good morning, Jamster. I'm well, and good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I hope we're all up and ready to go. Some of us are on our ways to work. Some of us are already here. So be on your guard. Drive safely. No rush. If you're going to be 5 minutes late, just ask the boss for forgiveness. And today is the last working day. Yes, today's the last working day for most of us, Jamster.
Yeah, that's
until the new year.
What day is that? Like the Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Next week Wednesday?
Yeah, we're coming back next week Wednesday as well.
Wow.
Yeah, nice long weekend.
Nice long, yeah.
Our thought pattern is on the same path this morning.
So much for letting out all your business. Going out at 9:30, 10:30. Sorry, no, I'm just playing.
I'm gonna beat him up. You know, I'm since Kortensia, you know, you weren't here. While we were trying to have a conversation, it's Jamster.
No, I had switched it on. And then
okay.
Next thing you just said that out of nowhere.
Oh boy.
So I was like, oh okay, it's cool though. Still love you.
Don't miss me. At least I'll complete my work before I leave, right?
True.
Yeah,
True.
I will complete it, folks. So I won't leave you hanging. AZ's on his way. Shortly he'll be here. For those of you who are wondering, where's his voice?
So I managed to do what I promised last night. Remember I said yesterday. Remember I said I was going to go home and a lot of those calypsos that hadn't been liberated. Let me put it that way. I finally got around to doing. So I spent, and by my count, 21 songs. So some additional songs from the eliminations that I never had time to, like Craig and Dwight and then I did the semifinals.
You know what I'm gonna do next year? I'm gonna make an extra effort to learn the Calypso. And I like the funny part. Yeah. I don't like the serious part. And I shouldn't say I don't like it. I don't gravitate towards it. So next year I'm gonna try my best to gravitate towards. Well, starting from today. Gravitate towards who the Calypsonians are, so I can definitely know what they're about. Okay. Because for me, I know Unexpected and Turkey Killer, and that's good enough.
You know, it's funny. I realized that, because I didn't get to go to the semifinal, there's all these great songs, people who didn't make it to the finals. There are two songs with a very similar theme. Mighty Pat, his second song, is Alien in My Own Country, and someone else had a similar song. Who is it again? Well, Lady Diva's second song is Country First, and there was another song I think along those lines. So a lot of songs got kicked out, and you wonder, well,
why?
Yeah, you wonder why.
What do the judges look for when they are deciding whose song is worthy of being in the Calypso finals?
I don't. Well, I know what I look for. I can't speak for other people.
Okay, so what is do you know the criteria then? Are you at leisure to speak on it?
Well, it's like, the simplified version is, the top line simplified version is, okay, lyrics is about 40 points, I think. Music is 30, and the other 30 is for like performance and, stuff like that.
So do they pick on what's happening, like current events?
Yeah, but people can sing on any topic they want. But I always feel like judges wait certain. I feel like a lot of judges, and it's especially a thing from the past. We're probably getting a little better at it, but I still feel like people feel like the more serious a topic, somehow the more worthy a song is.
Oh.
I always like to use the analogy. It might sound kind of crude to some.
Okay.
But my analogy is, I should be able to sing a song on taking a dump. And if the narrative, if the narrative arc is artfully done from verse 1 to verse 3, or I don't know who's gonna do 5 verses on taking a dump. But anyway, the point is,
somebody might be just as creative.
the point is, you can write a song on taking a dump, and if you address the topic properly, you should win, or you should be scored accordingly.
Okay. Okay.
Not this thing where, oh, this person's singing about carnival. Okay, like Lady Composer has a song. We love you, carnival. That's the second song.
Okay.
There might be judges who might say, oh, she's singing about carnival, or that. But then somebody may say, oh, Invincible, or he's singing about begging society. That's a nice, serious topic. But no, you're supposed to look at what's there. Don't say, oh, this is a serious topic, and
Yes.
this is not so serious. And, that's my approach.
Okay.
Because
Fair
you can
enough.
sing about anything and do it artfully and do it inartfully.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the topic is, as long as you deal with it
Yes.
in a artful and
Tasteful.
proficient manner. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Fair
You
enough.
do everything you're supposed to do. Use the stage. You have nice arrangements. Blah, 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 blah.
No, all of that is judged.
Yeah.
I thought the stage was only for the contestants. I didn't know.
Yeah,
the-
you have to use the stage too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In fact, famously last year, Kinta, because afterwards, me and his nephew, we talked about, because we were actually sitting watching him when he was singing, and he was the first, and that's also sometimes a bad thing when you're the first Calypsonian, because you could say the judges haven't calibrated their, you know what I mean? It's like you don't sort of don't have a frame of reference yet. So, and he wasn't using the stage. He was just like stage center, and he wasn't really using up the stage. So he ended up not making it to the finals, and he had a great song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, guys, we have 2 extra persons in house this morning.
Yeah. Who are these people? Who are these
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning?
All right, yourself?
Awesome. I was a judge last evening for the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant, and it ended, in terms of the results, rather late, over the 12 o'clock period, Jamsa. So you see the aftermath of what we spoke about in the yesterday's program, yesterday's edition of Island TV, when we said the competition's going over 12 o'clock and then
yeah.
having to, work and perform the next day. I am really on about 4.5 hours sleep. And so
Did you get a workout in?
No, perhaps later this afternoon.
Me.
Hi, welcome to Nevis. I am back in the studio. Like Azard, I was judging last night.
Wow.
It was an incredible experience. Congratulations to the St. Kitts Nevis Carnival Committee. That's the first time Auntie Mishi went out the house, because I'm like in my auntie phase. So it's like it's cold outside. Do I have to? But the production, in terms of the technical production of the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis, it was par excellence.
I
It
thought
was
so
really
too.
good. The stage was good. I'm doing carnival through WhatsApp, so everybody who's having a great time, I'm there with you. And so the backdrops to take pictures was really good. What I especially loved about the show, Azad, was the commitment of the patrons. The show was well supported, it was well attended, and those outfits, oh my God. Crown Lester King. From the village, he just shut down, shell down the place. Amazing. And we also had in the audience looking very esteemed, very honorable, P.S. Hodge, representing the education sector. He had on quite a brilliant, shimmery jacket, Miss St. Kitts and Christmas season is the time for glitz and glamour, so it was really awesome to see Mr. Hodge there in his glitz and glamour, well poised, well supporting. You had other principals, other educators coming out to support their committees. The National Carnival Committee, the Pageant Committee chair, the Miss St. Kitts chair. You guys did an excellent job.
Yeah,
So-
I also want to support you, Michelina, in saying that kudos to the chairperson of the pageant committee, Mr. Javon Liebert. In addition to his team, I think this ends for National Carnival, the pageants. And so on that note, I want to congratulate the committee members and everyone who made it what it was in terms of the talented teen, or the Miss Teen St. Kitts and Nevis now, and the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant. I also want to say congratulations to all the young ladies last evening who came out with their A game and participated. And, you know, it's not easy facing a Kittian division crowd, you know, and so
You should face a Vinci one.
to those persons who participated and to those persons behind the scenes who assisted those contestants, we want to say thank you, because if it were not for people like you who participate and assist, the carnival would not be what it is today. And so I want to say congratulations and kudos, and I do wish all the placement holders well. I do wish the winner, the queen, the 2023-2024 Miss St. Kitts and Nevis well. You know that the queen usually represents our federation in the regional pageants, and so I want to wish that team well. I also want to wish those persons who might also be representing, because we've seen times when it isn't the national queen winner who represents in other pageants. So
Sometimes
anyone who
runner-up.
anyone who gets the opportunity, I want to wish you well. I'm pushing it forward in the future, you know. So kudos, congratulations.
Yep, indeed. And Jamie, congrats. Desnorine, congrats. Is it Desan? Congrats. And all the ladies, congrats. I think the awards were correct. If anybody say they cheat, then yeah. But I think the persons, because once I saw, what's her name? Number 4. Once I saw her talent, I said, okay, she has best talent. When I saw Jamie in her swimsuit, I said, Jamie has a best swimsuit. The only part I dropped off a little bit from was the evening gown, so I didn't have a pick there.
Did you fall asleep, Carty?
Technically, yeah. But I woke up in time for all the awards, and I thought it was appropriate. I missed interview too, so I can't speak on that one.
So,
But I heard she was excellent from folks that actually got the opportunity to hear her speak.
so the person who
reigning
won,
queen.
who was the sponsor?
St. Kitts Music Festival.
Yes.
I cannot speak as a judge. I cannot speak to preference
Yes.
because I don't want nobody to say and cheat. I just think, though, I'm just going to put it out there, they throw out the highest and the lowest scores,
No,
and
they-
I think they throw out my
They
scores.
didn't do that.
They didn't throw out any scores.
They didn't throw out any scores.
But I could bet I gave all the girls the highest scores.
They
I'm
didn't-
such a generous
Being a
Malcolm.
former contest.
I clarified that yesterday because
Okay.
there was some persons thinking that was what was
Okay,
happening.
but
How
I
many
am-
judges were there?
There were a number of judges.
There were 7 judges for each segment.
Yes.
How many
What?
segments?
There were 6 segments. There was the interview, then the national or ambassadorial costume, whichever one is the heading for that, and the
Swimsuit.
swimsuit, then the
Talent.
talent, then the evening wear, and then the ambassadorial segment where you give a little speech.
Oh, so
They
they
just
had
fancy
2.
up the speech segment. So they renamed the speech segment and fancy it up. and
Wait,
put
so the first segment, that was your question to be judged on, right?
Yes.
So the last one was just for you to just say a little thing.
Yes. So
Okay.
from it,
Was
15
was
points?
what? Oh, it was. Oh, sorry, Michelle.
yes, it was for points.
15 whole points.
Don't beat
5
me up.
points each.
I fell asleep.
Girl, as soon as the auditor came and said you could go, I was through that gate. So I didn't see any of the awards. I didn't
Okay.
see the girls come back out on stage. I was gone. I really, if I had an ideal position to participate in the pageantry, I would go over to training and development. I had an opportunity to do training and development workshops last year with all the girls and training and development workshop this year with the girls, and we did storytelling, brand development, platform development. So I got to work with all of them last year and this year, and I really prefer that as opposed to judging because it's really hard to like you could only have one queen.
Yeah.
And I really
That's
just
fair
want
enough.
6 queens.
Yeah, I
and
know.
they're all 6 queens.
Yeah, they're all queens in their own right.
So
all
if,
queens in their own right.
if I could move over to a segment in contributing to the national pageant, it would be like, develop a product that I could do training and development with.
Yes.
I really would like that. It's you could just love everybody equally. Not that you don't love everybody equally, but you know.
You know, you must have your favorite in the mix, Jamie.
I don't. I really can't have a favorite, you know, so I want to tell all the girls congratulations tonight to the show.
Congratulations,
you're a queen, you know.
yes.
I'd be like sending messages like you're a queen, you did well, you know, before when I see them. You should see me there. They had a moment of silence, and you should see me there and be like praying, Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, bring back everything to remembrance, let everything go well, build their confidence, Lord. And all the judges watches me like, Michelina. I just, because as somebody who entered the pageant jam style
You know how it is.
and come last, it is not
I don't
easy.
understand why she keeps saying
Stop
she
saying
come
that.
last, you know.
Because of the come last, which you
We
just know when
all,
you come last.
I remember
Last is a
all of us
position.
from
Being
Island
last in
Hopper,
life.
we
Listen.
had on t-shirts with her face and we were backing her no matter what.
Mishi,
So I do not know why she said she come last.
Mishi, you came last with a murderer's row of talent.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do not know why
So
she said it.
it's
It was
like
a
that
great
was like
show.
that was like coming last with it's like if it was bands, it's like if you had
Yendi Williams.
and if
Lisa
you had
Hannah.
yes.
Yeah.
like that
We
exactly.
had a top class show. And
Yeah.
I
But
think
why
it's-
though?
Hmm?
Why?
What do you mean why?
All of them are queens in their own right too, but she could beat them out too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Meaning,
It was a good
if
year.
you have like it was a
It
good
was
year
a really
where
good year, and the competition
like
was stiff.
anyone on their own could have been
Miss Saint Kitts.
yeah, or any one of them could have filled in probably from the
was-
Saint Kitts,
it
you know,
was
and do
really,
well,
really
you know.
good.
Yeah.
Ambassador
so-
4 name is eluding me, and when I saw her costume last
Chevelle?
night, Chevelle, yes,
Yeah.
Miss Watson. And when she opened it, I remember yours. Remember yours?
Mm-hmm.
Yours was an open one too. So Memories.
Anybody see Auntie Nicole, the hostess?
oh boy, with the
Anybody see that body, Addy? Azard. Let me tell you, I wake up this morning and I said, Azard ain't gonna be the cute one. Kortensia, we giving him a run for his money. When I went in for Miss Saint Kitts, right? Nicole Gumbs was the pageant chair. Nicole Gumbs was the pageant chair when I went in. Anybody see that body last night?
She really is.
she works out hard.
Anyhow, she
She's
went in for Miss
dedicated.
Saint Kitts last night, she would have win again.
Yep.
My goodness. Anybody they see the body and the booby tight and tight and the legs them tight and she's strutting.
Yep.
Woo, pressure.
She's always been a strutter.
Yes.
Hello.
I always admired her since school
I
days.
going back to the gym at Carty, we're not missing class.
No, we're not missing classes
We're
here.
not missing class.
Yes.
Even if we're sick, we push it.
Hello.
She really does stand out, and
Yes.
she is a former national carnival queen, and she went regional, and
she
placed
won again.
No,
yes.
she won all the crown. Them she ain't a placement girl.
Yes,
Nicole is a Caribbean queen. Don't know
yes.
the Tarzan.
So let me clarify. She won. Yes,
won.
she won.
All-
Not just place. She won.
She
Yes.
won.
Yes.
All the show them she went in, she won.
Because
Well-
you know she was the last Miss JC's until Nikira, right?
No.
Oh no, Mimi. How could I forget that? No, but she was
No,
the
and then we had
she was the
before
last
that,
Miss
Ian-
JC before.
We
before-
had Ian Tavian
Yeah.
was Miss JC's as
But
well.
I think there was a little drought between Nicole and Ian. Tavian.
Yeah, a long time.
A
Perhaps,
long time,
yes.
yeah. So let me clarify it. So nobody, please don't see me and press me out. Yeah, but I know there was a drought between Nicole and the JC's crown coming back to St. Kitts.
Azad, I want you to answer, if you can, Kortensia as well.
She's putting me on the spot here.
Oh, Lord.
Is it a judge segment? I'm joking.
Okay.
You could ask a
The
question.
judges, we have training. So we come to a consensus as to what definitions are, what expectations are, how we are going to meet the criteria. I was absolutely disruptive, you know, being an outlier, the devil's
Mishi.
advocate. I think we need to have more opportunities to have discussions about what is on the judge's sheet
And this is prior to the show, right?
prior to the show.
Okay.
The public needs to have it, as well as the judges need to have conversations with the coaches. And I think when those three stakeholders have more conversations, you're going to hear a lot less the cheat.
But I don't think they cheat last night.
I don't think they
in all
cheat
fairness.
either.
I
but
think that
the conversation is there because on social media, you know, there were questions about what is the size limit for a contestant we body shaming contestants.
And I mean,
how
we
big
we
your
didn't
body has to be.
we didn't take the opportunity to go in. So why are we condemning the persons that were brave enough, that are proud of themselves, to be in the show? Why are we like that?
I think it was both sides of the coin, where persons who are backing the more voluptuous girls were like, they were judged unfairly for fitness. And then there's the other school of thought that says, if you're going in for a show, there should be no cellulite whatsoever. There should be muscle definition. The missing kids is a thing, and you must fit that ideal thing.
Okay.
I have a problem with standardization because there isn't an average Kittitian woman. And if there isn't an average Kittitian woman, there can't be a standard. We must take each woman with her difference and her uniqueness and allow her to strive. But the Caribbean body, because I think Mimi was a thicker, more voluptuous queen, right, Azard?
No, Mimi slimmed down plenty when she went in.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
she
I
did
knew
slim
Mimi.
down.
We go to the same church still. Mimi slimmed down a lot. When I saw Mimi, I was like, what? Yeah, Mimi worked hard. And that's why I said, I think Mimi was working maybe a year or two before she even went into that show. And that is something, and you heard me said it before, if you know you're going to go in, if we want this ideal look, as you're saying, there's no ideals. So we can't force people to, because I can't look like you, you can't look like me.
There might not
of
be
course.
an ideal, but there is a criteria, and I think that if
That's
there's
the
a
ideal. There's a standard. Let's not fool off the public and tell the truth.
there is a criteria, and if you are going to participate in any competition, you
start
should
early.
be aware of the criteria.
I think that must happen. I think the judges must have conversations with the coaches, must have conversations with the public, must have
understand where you're coming
conversations
from.
with the contestants, so that they have a sense of the target. Because I don't think a lot of them have a sense of the target, like what is required. For me, I bottom heavy. I got my grandmother hips and thighs and, bumpsy.
Nice.
And if you were to go into a competition, there would be a criteria in which you would be judged against.
And you might have to lose some of that hips.
Hello, you ain't here. 2024 is 8 are going in again, eh?
You don't study with Michelina.
Is there a new show? Because I know there's an age criteria, right?
Let me tell you, Michelina had on a dress last evening. She could have gone in the show again.
Woo!
Hello.
So she was living her dreams already last night. I love it, Azard.
Don't study Michelina.
2024 are going in for me.
And that's why I
when
said,
see me on this stage,
I always say they need a Miss 40 something. They need a Miss 40 something.
Guys, we have a call.
Oh, we have a call.
Okay, caller, good morning. Go ahead. You're live on LNT.
Miss Universe has taken away the age category, the age limit.
Yes.
Sako going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, caller. Go right ahead.
Okay, I couldn't go ahead as yet because there was still reasoning going on. We are respectful that way.
That's so sweet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to all. Here in the world competition with the Queen show. But what comes to mind is this competitiveness that is going on in steel band. We really think that at this point in time, what the steel band ought the way the steel band ought to fit in the carnival scene is forward to the jamming on the street. We really miss that. And I know a lot of other people miss that. Steel band jamming on the street and not in no reckless kind of way that we are seeing this jamming going on with the sound system. And even with the kind of some of the kind of lyrics. Are we still online?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the lyrics that are coming from the sound system isn't pleasant at all, especially to females. So I really think that steel band jamming should come forward again, and this competitiveness just don't have to go there. That's like how this competitiveness in Calypso should be a no-no. You know, we not seems to be embracing vision and going along as we should go along towards this the cultural vibration that is part of carnival. We are losing it. We are truly losing it, you know, and it's time that we really embrace it forwardly, you know. We just wanted to make that input. Thanks to the time.
Okay.
Blessed love.
Yes, I actually, we're going to go to a break now, 8:32. But no, he makes a good point. I really would like to, I actually agree wholeheartedly. I would like to see, I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I feel like there should be like a carve-out time for like a window. They used to do it like Juve early morning, where the steel bands would come out maybe from 4 to maybe 7 or 8, and then the bands.
Jam said they do that in Trinidad. When you play Juve in Trinidad, you could actually have a troupe assigned to a steel pan.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's bad that we don't even have Juve troops built around a steel band now. And you don't even have a carve out during the week, say, some afternoon where you say, oh, we're going to have some steel band jamming this
I
afternoon.
think, though, Jamster, to be fair, I think that we are building back the steel pan culture. And so, unlike Trinidad, where the steel pan is a national instrument, as I was saying, Jamster, I think it's unfair because we are building back the love and the appreciation for steel pan with this generation.
Which is
it's
good.
something that went dormant. And so the panorama is bringing that cultural love and understanding for the pan again, you know. A few years ago, the most prestigious and only musical instrument when a child tell you they study music was the piano.
Yes.
And so to have the cultural instrument back into the melee of what is music and to contribute to the arts is a brilliant thing.
Absolutely.
I think the love for the art form is growing. And you can see it with the number of bands that show up. And that's a good thing. We can ask for more, but we can't say that it is not good. It's a really good thing.
I mean,
to have panorama.
I mean, yesterday, they know I was.
Michelle, you heard the discussion yesterday?
Tell me about it.
We were very enthusiastic. I mean, I'm really.
Pan even took up the time that we took to drink tea. We forgot
it took up most of the time yesterday, and it was mostly props. And I'm glad to see the pan culture on the build. So so hopefully by next year we could go back to having a Juve troupe that actually is built around a steel band.
And 10 bands.
I see myself going back to Trinidad
10 bands,
to live for a little bit of Azard. I see myself going back. I see it in the future.
You miss it?
Love it. It's the only place other than St. Kitts that I can live. And people go like, Michelina, you're not afraid? Even Trinidadians. I be like Bagpat down the road, Port of Spain, Frederick Street, Laventil, you know. I said the last show, I was traveling. I needed to find a space. I think I found a space to stay. Yesterday, I just like an Airbnb Kortensia. And you see me, my backpack, my short pants, and I on the road. Whether it's a train or bus. When I travel with my family or, they try to keep an eye on me, they be like, we have to keep an eye on Mishi because she be on the road. You be like, turn. Rosalind will be like, if you turn your eye on that child, she be like, down the road through the ghetto. And you can't, I'm a very, especially in the Caribbean, I'm very much wanting to be a part of the Caribbean culture, the street culture. You're going to know when from the place.
The only place I didn't go in Trinidad was Laventil and this entrance that they want us not to go. But I always go downtown and they'd be like, "You
by yourself,
like,
right? Go by
myself.
Pick up
Pennywise,
Pennywise
everywhere.
Sasha.
Listen, everywhere by herself.
And you guys checked out the
Trinidad.
street food, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, doubles.
Doubles all the time, all the
roti,
pie.
chutney.
I know. Oh boy, we
Chutney.
You know,
ate in the mall.
Chutney.
At one point in time, I wanted to do my studies in Trinidad at the Hewarding
nice.
for the culture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too spicy
I
for you.
did. I did go to Trinidad more than one occasion. I really enjoyed Trinidad when I went.
I
there.
played free mass
Yes.
in Trinidad. The tire tried to run me out the band because you know Trinidad very
Oh, I like
strict, right?
spicy food, jam.
So
You like
I,
spicy food?
I,
I do
played
love
free mass
spicy
in
food.
Sissy was down on the avenue and all. We had fun, Naima. We had plenty fun that year. Yeah, I played mass for free.
I would really, I see it in my future. I see me going back to Trinidad. I see it. Pray for me, people. Sponsor the trip.
I knew that was coming. I know someone.
I actually need to go and look for my family on my father's side. I have
In
sisters.
Trinidad?
Yeah, I have siblings that I've never even met. Well, I met one, but I have siblings I've never met.
Oh boy.
And
Guys,
talk-
Trinidadians out there, Trinidad Tobago, Gonians,
Yeah.
Jamster,
in
need to
fact,
come
in fact, the sister was a pageant
Uh-huh.
contestant that came here one time
Nice.
for Labor Day. The Labor, they used to have this thing on at Master's house on the weekends. On the Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But the just one more question, if you could give me some time. I'm sure we're
Then I'm
enjoying
gonna
the
go to the break,
conversation,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go to the break and let's come
Yeah.
back with the question.
Okay. We'll go out with Craig, Blood on Your Hands. Finalist.
Go and support a steel pan. So I come with a timely and similar demand. Time these corporations.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
You can win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4, you could get it all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with Pick 3 and $10,000 with Pick 4 when you play the Mega Ball.
You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
Get ready to transform your space with the Horswoods Building and Nevis Centers. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. It's your chance to give your home a fresh new look at a whopping 25% off store-wide on all paints and tile at Horswoods Building and Nevis Centers. But wait, there's more. With every purchase of Citizens Paints, you could win a free room paint over. Imagine walking into a freshly painted room completely on us. Looking for even more options? We've got you covered with fantastic deals on Sherwin-Williams and Penta Paints. Don't miss out on the chance to get premium quality paints at amazing prices. But hurry now to Horswoods Building and Nevis Center. This incredible offer is available for the entire months of November and December only. Terms and conditions apply, so be sure to visit us for all the details. So don't wait. Head on over to our store and take advantage of Horswoods Building and Nevis Center. Spruce it up big fresh paint and tile sale. Give your space the makeover it deserves and make this holiday season extra special.
Don't struggle this Christmas. The Bank of Nevis has the perfect loan just for you. Life may not be perfect, but this holiday season, the Bank of Nevis is making it better with an unsecured loan of up to $40,000. Use it for home renovations, furniture and appliances, travel, carnival costumes, and any other family expense. Borrow up to $40,000 and make your Christmas dreams come true. No down payment, no security requirement. Interest rate is the most competitive in the market, and your loan application will be fast-tracked. Payment deferred for 1 month after approval, and you have up to 5 years to repay. Get your holiday fund started with this great financing of up to $40,000 from the Bank of Nevis. Offer ends December 31st. Visit the nearest Bank of Nevis branch today.
Terms and conditions apply.
As Lady Composer at 8:41, one of tonight's finalists. She was originally the alternate, but was unconfirmed. I think by now, I think she's being promoted to a full finalist because Invincible finalist, the original 7th finalist, had to bow out. So yeah, lady composed a song called "We Love We Carnival," and that's pretty much what the conversation we were having
earlier.
That we're having now, because we all love Carnival and we all want to see it go from strength to strength, right?
Yeah, and it's getting there, as Michelina would have mentioned. Yeah. It's getting there. So.
Michi wanted to finish her point.
It's a question. I wanted us. The theme of the show is 40 years of diplomatic relations and the benefits of diplomatic relations. And I think they said we had diplomatic relations for 40 years with 6 countries. I can't remember the 6 countries.
A number of countries.
And Taiwan would be one for sure.
Taiwan.
Venezuela.
Cuba, probably.
No? I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No. But there were 6 of them. And so I want us, each of us in here represent different platforms. And I know the interview section is like really hard. So I want each of us to be, like we're competing. We're doing an interview section for St. Kitts host, top host. Isn't there a sweetie we could give the winner?
Oh, that'd be good.
Jamster is going to be the judge.
We're
Thank you, Jamster.
Judge?
Yes, you're going to be the judge.
Yeah.
You want to be in it, Jamster?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, so everybody has to name their platform. We're going to start with Azard. Azard, what's your platform?
I'm going in with education.
You can't go with education. That is my platform. You used to cheat.
Okay, let me go with the next one. I'm gonna go with politics.
Okay, politics. You take that. Azard?
Politics, of course.
Yeah,
Duh.
politics. You see how he cheats?
So in the politics, I'm gonna shape it to nation building. So that would be the subcategory for the platform.
How we done trying to answer the question? Jamsa, what's your platform?
Move Carnival away from Christmas. I'm serious.
How is that a platform for the morning host? We're going with a theme. We're going to answer the question. How does diplomatic relation?
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So is it music, entertainment, creative economy?
Yeah. All of that. Yeah. All of those. All of those. Yeah.
Pick one.
Pick one. You just to pick one.
It's not that hard. Just
music.
Pick one.
Okay.
I'm over here thinking this thing is hard.
Carty, yours would be like tourism, hospitality.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. Fair enough.
I see how Michi is assisted.
That's why I tell you this judging thing and me and this pray.
And she could choose. She can choose regional aviation. That'd be a good platform.
That kind of hard.
It would be difficult. For
yeah, and everybody gonna mash up the ad today.
You want to keep it as wide so you could actually take categories from it to answer your question.
So mine would be education, and I just want you all to know when I come back from school, I go in school again. God gonna bless me.
Amen.
And I'm going to dub myself Jamster. You say honorable. In a real thing, well, I gonna take up one, and I'm going to be an education ambassador. Okay, I'm gonna put the HE on my name. I could do it by deed poll.
Her Excellency?
Her Excellency.
I prefer that than honorable.
I'm going to deed poll my name, Her Excellency. You're going to just gonna call it because it's gonna be me. I thought you're gonna do the legal work for me.
You'll be like saying, I bought this name.
Hello.
So use it
and registered it.
So I'm gonna deed poll Her Excellency Michelina. My platform is going to be education. Okay, so the question on the floor, and we're going to start with Azard because he's a lawyer and he talks for a living.
Contributes to global warming for
Okay, so good night. Good morning. Yeah. Okay, so good morning, Azard.
Good morning, Michelina. How
are
you?
I'm
fine.
lovely. I am lovely. You are
I know,
on point.
I know, what's fine.
You are on point. So we're going to have one question from your bio, and your bio is what I see you doing in community, how you're active in the community, etc. And then from your platform, politics or nation building. So as an avid community leader and a young person, I see you going out there and serving. What's the benefit of young persons being actively engaged in community?
Well, I think that it gives a sense of purpose. When you wake up at mornings, I think that for me at least, I think about what I want to give each day of myself. And I think being active in the community gives you that avenue to express who you are and to share with others in different ways. So, for example, if it means just doing a dialogue with young people as to what they want in terms of dreams and aspirations, knowing that when I was once a young person or younger person, I too would have wanted someone to speak to me about dreams and aspirations that I may have and how they can be fulfilled. So when I think about community service, I think about it in a very diverse way, touching persons by displaying who you are in a practical manner. That's 4 hours of sleep though, Michelina.
I'm gonna be like, keynote speaker.
What? I lose.
Listen. He just in on it.
I'm over here being nervous.
Okay, so the adjudged question is, as a lawyer, as somebody who is aspiring for national leadership, what are the benefits of politics and nation building? What are the benefits to politics and nation building from diplomacy and diplomatic relations?
Well, I believe that no man is an island, and I think that goes without saying. I think as people, we live in a space, but we don't occupy that space alone. So I think diplomatic relations, it's important because we welcome persons from all walks of life, different ethnicities, different races, and so different nationalities. And so I think it is important for us to embrace that. And I think through nation building, displaying who we are, displaying what we want as a people, and interacting with persons of different nations, I think that is a way in which you can achieve peace, stability, and good order. And I think all those diplomacy in its raw form is just that, being able to work on matters, being able to negotiate, being able to seek amicable solution. And I think for any nation to grow, there needs to be stability, peace, and order.
Woo!
That's what I don't even know.
Azard for the crown. I just lost.
Okay, so St. Kitts and Nevis, our listening audience, the diaspora, wherever you are, feel free to chime in and judge. Leave good comments, okay? If I leave any bad comments on the wall, I'm going to delete it. May have access to the wall, but I'm going to get access and delete it, okay? So I'm going to judge our show with compassion, okay?
And grace.
And grace, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, so Jamster, how are you?
I'm good.
Good morning. It's lovely to see you there. I continue to say that you are the magic that stirs the island tea in the morning.
She's so full of ish.
Oh,
Anyway.
the people get to see us, but you get to make seeing us magical.
Okay.
So
Good way to put it.
I have been around this station from since I was a child, high school, sixth form, and you have been involved in the production of radio media, traditional radio media, for what would be 2 decades or more?
Almost.
Wow.
Almost 2 decades. What is the greatest benefit to yourself from being within the music economy for such a long time? The music and the creative economy, what is the greatest benefit you received?
Well, you keep growing, that's for sure. It's always it's always an exercise in cross pollination and learning from other people and learning from other cultures. And then in my case, for example, I have a lot of great relationships with record labels, artists, artist management, engineers, producers, that kind of thing. So that kind of relationship, and that applies to locally as well. So there's a
multidisciplinary, multi-professional,
and there's a fraternity aspect to it, which is nice,
Great. So, as an ambassador with almost 2 decades of experience to the music and creative economy, how does diplomacy and diplomatic relation benefit the music industry and the creative economy?
You know that I have a very good example actually. This happened this year. There's a label that sends me music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what it was they had done wrong. But I tend to be very direct, and sometimes it gets me in trouble, right? This is an American guy. And I think I sent him an email, which I guess when it text, it probably came across wrong to him. And he was like, couldn't you just say send the song or something? I don't remember what exact, something had happened. And he said, but couldn't you just, I said, he said, you're being an a-hole right now and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that wasn't what was intended. And I apologized. And then, you know, we still have a great relationship. But then I realized sometimes my directness doesn't go down well with people. So, yeah, diplomacy is definitely something.
It gives us an opportunity to have conversations from different views.
And have committee with people, you know.
And
you know?
Generate a consensus that pushes the industry forward.
Absolutely.
Great.
So it's important in every aspect of our interaction with others.
Okay. So, Miss Kortensia, how are you?
I'm nervous. I'm excellent.
But your makeup is on point. Like, think it's Nevis Diaspora listening audience, wherever you are.
It happens on Friday.
She's on point, period.
Yeah, definitely her voice. But her makeup, I love that she wakes up for 8 o'clock and she beats that face. Commitment. Like, I don't even pencil in the brow.
Oh, boy.
But she shows up and she gives us personality and beauty and grace. And she makes the tea on Island Tea. I think Kortensia gets 10 points ahead of everybody else just for being, you know, Miss Grace.
Thank you.
So, Kortensia, like Jamster, I've known you for almost 2 decades. I think I've known everybody here for almost 2 decades now. We started working together, or I started working with you, rather, under the auspices of Mr. Widdowson at Island Hopper when it was by the circus and, you know, when clothes was clothes.
Yes.
You got a nice A-line hibiscus skirt that lasts you for years.
4 years. People are still wearing those things around town, you know.
If I had mine, I would still be wearing it.
Nice.
So you have been a part of the tourism industry, the hospitality industry for over 2 decades. Have you noticed that?
Now that you speak of it, I have.
Yeah, you put down your resume, okay? Over 2 years, 20 years.
20 years,
over
exactly.
20 years experience in the hospitality industry. You have worked in sales and marketing. You have worked in the airline industry. How have you seen the industry grown in 20 years? Like, how have you seen the growth of the tourism industry in the 20 years that you've been contributing? We could nominate you for an award, you know.
Growth. With this year's tourism season, I honestly can say there might be growth, but because of where I worked before, as you mentioned, Island Hopper, back then we had ships galore.
Hello, box to lift up.
Oh boy, I tell you,
fix up that shop for the next
exactly, and people were just buying stuff off the shelves.
Locals and tourists.
So I think there has been a decrease, although persons might say there has been an increase. But what has changed in tourism, I find, is that they're now working on equipping persons to become better at customer service, because that's something that we lack. I find if you're not my friend, when I approach you, it's I normally get like, what you come here for? Like, I have time for this. I'm tired.
Ain't right tonight.
So, exactly. That was an excellent talent. And you're always being told the customer's right, the customer's right. And during my 20-year tenure in the industry, I've had to put my foot down and let the customer know that you're not always right, and this is not how you're going to treat me today. But we are going to move forward, and you will leave my presence better than you came on this aircraft, thinking you could have talked down to me or anything, because I didn't have much trouble at Island Hopper. I had a lot of trouble whilst I was working for the ad, especially when they were late. So, yeah.
They used to abuse your offense,
They tried.
Oh, Auntie Carty not having it. They tried. She'd be like, snap back, snap back.
Yep.
And this was just Auntie Carty and she judge question yet, but I'm so excited because it's pure brightness on Island Tea this morning. We could have a whole Seeing Kids host. Best host, best. We could do that, you know. We could have like a best host, best morning show competition.
Actually.
We could have a best host, best morning show competition.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. We could do that. Sugar Bowl gonna be hard to beat, but we got this.
You never know.
We got this.
We got this.
We could be the creep up. We could be the
yes,
creep up.
Exactly.
Consistency wins.
Hello.
Consistency is the key. Exactly.
So just make sure we're consistent in every segment.
Yes. So Kortensia, your first answer was absolutely brilliant, graceful.
I tried.
As an ambassador and a contributor to the St. Kitts Nevis and Caribbean tourism industry, hospitality sector, how does diplomatic relation benefit those industries? And diplomacy. Diplomatic relation and diplomacy benefit tourism and hospitality.
Well, I see the diplomacy between Taiwan and St. Kitts being refreshing over the 40 years where both countries benefit from each other. I think in order for diplomacy to work, we need, as a people, to move from island to island. We need to realize, especially amongst our Caribbean brothers and sisters, the OECS, like I'm going to use my former employer, Liat. Liat needed saving, and nobody came up to the plate to save it because of the tumultuous reign it would have had. But I think if all the governments saw it as a viable entity and they worked on their communication and diplomacy amongst the island and amongst each other, our connectivity would have not been in the struggle that it is in at this point. Because now we are asking this person to cover the slack, that person to cover the slack, and the slack isn't being covered. Yes, it might have taken you a whole day to get to your destination, but you got there, and you got there safely. We apologize for that. But had they seen it beneficial for the islands, then the diplomacy could have worked. We could have saved the airline, and our tourism or intra-regional travel and tourism amongst islands could have been better, because the connectivity sucks right now. And we see how people that wanted to come from St. Thomas that could have flown here in 50 minutes back then couldn't do it. They either had to connect via the US or some other form. So if we really, really think that diplomacy could have worked or could have saved us, it should have been used. But in this case, I don't think it was. But it is important for us to maintain what we have in the Caribbean and not always look to the bigger countries to help us when we are in our trouble.
Splattered out. Down! Oh, you hear that? Bring our radio station and because we have the best hosts. We have the best host on Win FM 98.9 Island Tea Morning Show. We have the best host. We win. We win the St. Kitts host competition. All of us from our different platforms bad up the answer then. We win.
So, Michelina, you have been in education
Oh, you want to ask me
for a
question
number of
for?
years.
She thinks she's going to get away, right? She wants to ask all of us, but she thinks her turn is not going to come.
As an educator,
We already won. Maybe we don't have to.
educator, what inspires you most?
Accommodation of difference. As an educator, as an award-winning educator, my strength is being a learner. And so being a learner, I appreciate their different modes of understanding. In the literature for education, we say we have 5 minds. We have the person who like to talk, the person who like to do, the person who needs to interact, the person who needs to touch, the person who needs community. However, the teacher is a singular resource. Education globally is an understaffed, under-resourced sector. No matter where you go in the world, the input in education is dirt poor, but the output, the expectation of output is exponential. And so for the teacher, who I consider to be the engine of education, for the teacher to be the engine of education and make that accommodation, she or he is the most brilliant thing on this planet. the educator will save us all.
And the most egregiously underpaid.
In Jesus'
boy.
name.
Include that in her
In the
scoring.
world. So Jams and Mishi would be those two judges that would want to help the contestants on stage.
Yes.
You realize those are the ones that put in
yes.
each other?
Yes.
Let me say as well, we know that it's often stated that diplomacy works, and St. Kitts and Nevis have had long tides, diplomatic relations with a number of countries. How can diplomacy and diplomatic relations enhance education in your perspective?
As we move towards a sustainable state, the Sustainable Development Goals, number 4 being my favorite, provision of quality education. As someone who came from the ghettos of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am the first person in my family, my biological family, to finish high school. And so to finish high school and then to finish A-levels, and then immediately to go to university. And today I'm a holder of multiple degrees. I'm a holder of multiple degrees because my country, St. Kitts and Nevis, has participated in diplomatic, intra-regional diplomatic relationship that afforded me the opportunity at 17 years of age to become a student of the St. Augustine University of the West Indies campus. There, I was the youngest representative of my country, coming from the probably hardest trajectory backwards. But that diplomatic relations made it possible for me. My economic costs was paid for. And because that economic cost was paid for, because my country stood with me in that Caribbean space, bright stars rising from the west, being of many nations, we are but one people, a Caribbean people. And it is on the shoulder of regional and Caribbean integration. I am a multiple degree holder and an avid and excellent contributor to education in St. Kitts and Nevis, regionally and the world, because teachers will save us all.
Oh, wow.
And the crowd burst in applause.
And Mishi gets the crowd.
Bring all your
was
morning hoes and
was
come.
that answer rehearsed though?
Of course, I is a teacher. I is a teacher. Every time I go in front of them children there, I on a keynote.
Oh, nice.
I on a stage, okay?
Prep had to be done.
Hello.
She thought, see, everybody else had to do it on the spot.
Preparation
is key. But you know, I think Mishi and Azard had it easy.
Yeah, because we in our field, put me in tourism, why not? Pick up the paper them. Why not? And I think that is the gift that we can give to everybody. I chose a platform that is uniquely you.
Yeah.
I know that you have been in tourism for 20 years. I know that you have been in hospitality for 20 years. So there is no performance or policy that would be new to you. Yes. There's nobody that could come to talk to me about education in any format. You can't talk to me about the Education Act, the policies.
So we could say from that when contestants are choosing platforms that they ought to, it is in their best interest to choose platforms that they are already attached to. Things that they are familiar with and things that they're doing in their communities.
So the attachment is organic.
Yes.
Can they choose their platforms or are their platforms chosen for them?
I think if the contestant wants to give a grand show, she should be able to choose the platform. The only thing is that they're very young. If you're entering with St. Kitts at 18, you might not have a real platform other than the performance art because your mother's sending you dance class and you might think that is what you're passionate about. So the range of the contestants based on her age. I am a teacher, so I understand education and I'm a smart teacher. So you can't wrestle with me in education. I don't care if you use the minister, you use Jesus, you use the PS. I understand my practice.
Yes.
So according to Azard, when we identify, and this is a strength of mine, I know what I am good at.
Yes.
And I am going to show up as a teacher. I ain't trying to give nobody financial advice.
Because technically I'm still in customer service, you know.
You very much.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to give nobody legal advice.
Yeah.
but I could give you advice on education.
Yes,
and when
exactly.
I show up consistently as that, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Because I can't say a thing about music. I have to leave that to Gems over there. I can't speak on politics. I have to leave it.
And politics,
exactly.
we
law
have
and
to
politics.
be guided by
I have to leave it
Azard.
in that lovely shirt over there, you know?
No, I had to end the year with a
Being
bang.
golden.
The Canary Island of politics.
Sam, so you go hard for Azard, you know?
I see how bright this color is.
Yes.
It really lights up a room.
Yes.
It does.
In any dull area.
Oh boy! The lashes have been thrown this morning.
I smack this black on that
My
yellow.
tea's done and the tea's done. I didn't do much today.
But you know, black and yellow goes well together. And in fact, yellow, gold go well with a lot of colors. It's a melting pot.
And you
It
realize
invites
Black and
unity.
yellow.
the colors
black
of
and
the
yellow.
flag.
You know that song?
Black and yellow, yeah. That was a big hit.
That was a big song.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, let's take a quick break. It's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. I had a little treat for you guys. I hope you woke up. Bernardo Fips was also joining us this morning.
Oh, we get in. We want happiness.
Yes.
Plenty happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
it was supposed to be a surprise, but I kind of told.
Surprise.
I told Kate.
Well,
earlier,
Azard didn't
but-
know.
Yeah, he didn't
So
know.
surprise.
So he's coming? He's coming
Well,
to
he was
see
supposed to come at 9, so I
Okay,
hope he's
then.
on his way. I hope
Awesome.
he didn't oversleep or anything. Okay, let's take a quick break.
There will always be.
Oh, this is Hollywood's second song. It's what's it called? Wait, let me see. Oh, outside the box.
Live up your brother, live up your sister, live up your gratitude. We need each other more than ever. I'm telling you, people, live up the box, take out the box, forgive out the box, share out the box.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Tis the season to celebrate those driving significant changes in the Caribbean. Those in the arenas of hospitality, education, finance, manufacturing, retail, healthcare, and logistics, who help to make our people's dreams come true. CNW Business thanks you all for your contribution to our region's development. We are proud to serve you, a community of talented and resilient people dedicated to making a real impact. Because truly, we are all the Caribbean. Happy holidays from CNW Business.
Get ready for a dazzling showcase of talent, intelligence, and beauty at the 41st edition of Aim Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Team. Join us on December 30th, 2023 at 8 p.m. sharp at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel. Experience the brilliance of delegates from the Caribbean nation, including Mr. Kyler Hart Johnson, representing St. Kitts and Nevis. Our special guest host, comedian Fat Man George from Grenada. Power Pack performances by Soca Super, Lucas H.E., along with other local and regional performers, accompanied by the Greenhouse Band. Get your tickets fast for $80 EC before December 25th, or pay $100 EC thereafter. Don't miss the chance to watch the show live on sknvibes.com. It's the 41st annual Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen, where stars are born. Special thanks to our major sponsors, First Federal Credit Union, SL Hosford and Company Limited, Open Interactive, and Timothy Beach Resorts. Join us and be a part of this legacy.
For me, this for we. Neighbor, partner, your family. The best is yet to come, believe me. Moving forward, moving with. Hey, this is the nation with the best customer experience. This thing, you are the one for we. Happy anniversary.
Together we succeed, building on strong community, pressing on part to one destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see.
Our development, if there were no monuments along the way, recording our history for posterity should be the priority. Now that we have a say, take the public revolt that's spread across the region, demanding our...
And finally, Socrates' other song is called Heroes of the Caribbean. 11 is after 9 o'clock. And we are back.
Jam says Socrates in the finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, we are back. And, of course, we want to mention as well that the Calypso, the Senior Monarch competition, is this evening. And so persons who are interested in Calypso, that platform, that creative area, look out. There are going to be 8 participants this evening, and it from all aspects, it's going to be a great show. So guys, come. If you can't make it to physically at Warner Park, of course you can always stream it, and you could be in the comfort of your home. So come out and support the Calypsonians. It's an art form here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Also, I should point out, I'm going to see to it that there's been criticism expressed that they're not, like my father-in-law was saying, or I haven't been hearing the Calypso. So we had a little philosophical kind of battle, because I said, well, he said, well, the Calypsos are not good. I haven't been hearing it. I said, well, how do you know they're not good if you're not hearing them? You know? So I fixed the not hearing them part. And like I said,
he's hearing them.
I pulled out 21 more songs last night. So I'm going to see to it that anyone who is interested in hearing the Calypsos, plus even some of the ones that didn't make the finals, I'm going to see to it that this stuff is going to play all the way through the day, right up to the show tonight. So if you want to hear Calypso, daddy-in-law, you listening?
But guys, I have an honest question to ask, right? Do you think streaming is killing the attendance of our shows?
I think it was well attended.
Yeah, I don't think streaming is. I think I think that platform is necessary, because there are going to be persons, for whatever reason, who want to watch the show. They might not be here in St. Kitts physically, and they still want to be a part and be able to engage and be able to go on the social media and say, this is my contestant, or this person should have won. There are also persons too, for whatever reason, may want to stay at home. It's very comfortable staying at home and watching the shows. I've done it a number of times, because when they have the intermission or they have persons, you could always go and do something else. You always have that opportunity if you want to have food there as well. In terms of your own space, you can make it whatever you want. You could have a watch party as well.
And you actually get a better view of the girls on stage. You see every intricacy of their talent, their dresses, their swimsuit, everything. But I don't want anybody to come for me. Do you think we should pay for the streaming, or should it remain free?
Well, I think that
that's gonna be that's gonna be a gnarly
But then how do we expect to build our carnival when we don't want to contribute to it?
Before I answer that question, I would have to know how much a profit it is in terms of streaming, whether or not it could be absorbed. Okay, we have a caller.
Caller, go ahead. Good morning, you're live on Allen T.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Jam Down.
Everybody at the table.
We're still waiting on the cake and the ham, but anyway.
Voice lady. You work at Island Hopper?
Yes.
How you in a jam now? Mr. Widerson was my boss for years, Yes, you run down the circus,
But Jam Down, I know you.
You work at the circus?
Yeah. Jam Down, I know you. You're not the Rasta guy with the big time that always had the big time on?
Yeah, work there. Remember, I was the chief security on the outside.
Okay.
Make sure dispose the bin, put them out at mornings. Oh, that guy is a great guy.
Yes.
Mr. Widerson, if you're listening, Jam Down this morning, happy Christmas. And prosperous New Year.
Yes.
You always prosperous, man, because you deal so nice with poor people. That is pure. God bless Mr. Widerson.
Yes, indeed.
Jamster, I never see a man who were really born here, but he reach out to everybody when it comes to tourism.
Yep.
Mr. Widerson should have never moved from no tourism board, because he had what it takes. He come and he craft it with Lachlan, his sister, all of them he fit in, and they make it a product with Miss Watley. They make it $1 million product till all kind of vagabonds come now. All kind of poor people, children who supposed to learn the craft, they come in and fight against people. Even me. Now yesterday morning I went down in the vendor's market, because I overlook a building deal. And the people at Pellets called me that 2 days now they ain't getting no water. So I went deal. And looking around what bar, it look good to me. Because I know how he used to look. A young man picked me up and I was investigating something. Why is it they don't want to give a young lady? Why is it they don't want to give so she leaves from Shifado? Because she did pick it up from Shifado. Oh, ain't no clean. Ain't no clean because they all rent. And she want no rent. And she want no rent, you know. But they're playing politics because they want poor and the people to run the bad deal. And the lady all do some great investment there to uplift it. And that is what we're looking for there. And she did it. But a warning that young man, you know, behave yourself in a young boy, you bag of politics, you know. Because I'm not going to back down, you know. I know you're going to talk in this country. Because I'm here and I want you to know that little girl, father, do more and even then Will Douglas and all who are around here and playing around Kitty-son. But I am here, you know. Be here. Because people are not back down, you know. I don't see problem in this thing for next year, you know. If I don't reverse and we think can come forward, you know, people can come at I violently, you know. It is nasty behavior towards Kitty-son, eh? Behave. They didn't get alone alone. A lot of people went. The pandemic didn't know you. It wasn't like a hedgehog blowing out full of water. Behave myself with that nasty behavior. Would you send them the port? Behave. Because people even just stay with that, you know. Have a good day.
All right, Jam Down.
Keep me to the happy.
All
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your contribution.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, our morning treat is here. I told you guys we were gonna have.
We want happiness.
Oh yes.
Can I just big up Miss Kathleen White? Every time I've been on the show and every time after, she is an avid listener.
Yeah, she's
and
always
fan.
there.
Every morning she shows up and she just brings so much love to Island Tea. Miss White, we see you, we hear you, we love you. May had nothing in my pocket. Hendrickson, Eustace Hendrickson, thank you very much for the engagement. We love you. Cleo Rogers, and to all the fans and listening audience who take the time not only to be present, but to give the gift of engagement. We love you, we hear you, we see you. Sometimes it's hard to respond while we're on air, but we really appreciate the value you add. You make the show. Thank you.
Live up. We want happiness. We want happiness. One thing I know that my life was something. Some counting currency, I'm counting blessings. One thing I know that there is no giving. Swing into the fences, that's how I'm living. Some people wake up every day without good reason, full of hate and gossip.
Undoubtedly some of the best lyrics you can wake up to get your day going. Swinging for the fences, that's how I'm living. Bernardo Fips, Nardo HD, what's up, my man?
What's up, Jamster? Good morning to the Island crew.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, and I just want to say great job on your program. I listen from time to time.
Thank you.
And I appreciate what you guys do. I think it's very inspirational, and it's the perfect opportunity to highlight and showcase our talent. So you guys do a wonderful job, and I'm also honored, definitely, to have my track as one of your
wake up song.
It's a wake up song.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, when I heard it at the first time, I thought it was actually someone who sang it and composed it from not here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So to hear that it came from someone here in St. Kitts and Nevis is commendable, because the beat is uplifting. It's positive on so many levels. And I think it's applicable. You could play that anywhere.
Yes.
You understand? So really well done.
And once Jamson made it known that the person was from here, it resonated with us more. So we jammed it more in the morning than we used to, because it was just a beat before. But once he added the words and we found that the person's from, we'd be like, oh,
I strung them along for a whole year before I played. I think I only played the vocal version this month.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, listen, crew, I again, I can't say how honored I am, but I also, I just want to give kudos as well to local talent in terms of Paul Queeley. I don't know if anyone knows Paul Queeley, but Paul Queeley is one of he's the main producer of that beat. So again,
we got talented people on this island, man.
Yeah, so I can't not recognize Paul Queeley for that. So big shout out to him. Sid Caesar, who resides also in New York, but his roots is actually from St. Kitts as well.
Okay,
so it's again, it's just always an honor to work with my own people and promote positive words, right?
And this song was never used in competition.
It was just so a little back end is that I'm not an active artist, soca artist. I consider myself more like, I've been in. I don't know if Jamster gave you guys the backdrop, right? But I can just give you a quick synopsis. I was actually the first Mr. Talented teen in St. Kitts.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten that.
So, yeah. It's a show that I entered and won. But also, from a sports perspective, I've always been involved in sports. I've been involved in track and field. I've been involved in, to some degree, the social advancement of our nation here in St. Kitts, and abroad. To add some relatability here, my sister Corinne has been on your show. So we constantly try to help in the past and in the present social folks here in the nation, whether it's fundraising. Some year ago, just when COVID hit, a group of us we actually raised about $25,000 just to promote. It was a set of vouchers to help and assist folks who were unable to shop, right?
Okay.
So they were able to go to the supermarket and get a voucher on behalf of a small group of friends who decided to raise funds. So it's about positivity. That's just my life.
So did you write the song yourself?
Yes, it was co-written by myself and the same guy I just mentioned, Sid Caesar.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've written tons of songs before because
give them some of that pedigree, because I don't think they know.
Yeah,
they wouldn't know.
In my last year of college, I actually was a part of a band called BQE Band. I was the front guy for that. The first year that album came out, I wrote the 16 tracks on the album. Again, Corey Tyson, who's in Nevis, Master Blue. I don't know.
The Core,
the Core.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
Corey again is he's my main guy in terms of as in the past who I can work with in terms of music, but Paul also too, because Paul at one time was a part of BQE. So again, it's the band. I wouldn't say broke up in a sense where we didn't tend to come back and collaborate, because that's what we did, right? So, I've always been writing, and that's kind of like,
So what was the motivation for writing this song?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it started with Sid, right? He had the track and, the beat, because Paul came up with the beat. And then I think, too, it was just timing in terms of where one was in the space of my life. I look around me. I'm very, I would say comfortable in the sense that at that point in life, your profession, you look around, you see people going through strife. You just want to share that, right? And I feel like a lot of music that come out, doesn't really promote that and has the same beat. Right, I think what I've always shot for is timelessness. So if when I'm not around, 10, 20 years from here, somebody can pick up that and say, hey, this is still a timeless track. Just like Bob Marley, right? Bob Marley, his songs sound like it's something from just released 2 months ago, right? So
that's correct.
A lot of it is biblical as well. A lot of Bob Marley's song is biblical and philosophical. I think Bob Marley is more of a philosopher than anything else.
Right.
But I'm listening to you. And as a creative, a visual creative, I can't sing a beat. What does music mean for you? How did you find it, or how did she find you? And what is she to you? What is music for you?
Well, music is a channel for me to not just express your personal, feelings, which you can in any lyrical composition, but it's also about, if you can't be, a lot of us think that we can get into politics and we can try to lead a nation, right? And that's one way. But if you're not going to do that, you can write a song that is gonna move, motivate, and stimulate people. I like people. Every day I post, try to post inspirational stuff on social media to inspire people, because I think there's too much rivalry. There's too much rivalry, right? And in a time like this, I mean, this is Carnival. We need more revelry and less rivalry, right?
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna steal that.
For real.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna give you the credit, but I'm gonna steal it.
That's I don't need credit,
That's
but
I just want you to know that.
Yeah, that's fine, and that's good. Again, my one little thing is, if I can inspire one person, that one person can inspire many. So that's,
we need more revelry, not rivalry.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Every day we wake up.
Yes.
We need more revelry. But I just, we had like a contest. We were displaying our talents. Host of Island T 98.9 Win FM, and I think in the spirit of revelry that we are the best morning host on Island.
She does say so herself.
And I think we have one of the best shows. And if there was ever to be like rivalry, I think we'll do well.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
And in the end, we just want happiness.
Yeah. That tied in so well. Ooh! Jam, so what you gotta say? Nothing? Oh,
I'm
speechless over there. Oh boy. Yes.
But we need more revelry than rivalry.
Yeah.
But if there, was a need for rivalry, I think we would do well. We would do very well.
Wow.
So, if you had an opportunity to have an audience with the Prime Minister and the Minister of
Creative Economy?
Carnival and Creative Economy, what would you tell them about music? If you could have an audience with them and have them listen to you and implement, because it is listening, it is sip the tea and listen.
Right. So, and that's the idea for the tea, right? Tea is good to the body, the immune system.
Yes.
I'll just dial back quickly. There was a music video that was shot here as well. Around with the song. I don't know if you guys ever seen that music video.
I think that's
Dancer is going to put it in the chat first.
That music video, when I shot that, it was shot with a bunch of kids, and I engaged some familiar faces as well, right? And this is before the formation of Creative Economy.
We always had a Creative Economy. They just put a title on it. People are creative and they make money around it.
All right, but so that was done. That video was done, and I think, if I'm correct, it might have been one of the first, I wouldn't say major, but I think it was one of the big productions back in 2017. This track has since been remastered. But going back to your question, what would I say to, cabinet or any, I'm going to segue on one of the shows that I attended, which was the Panorama show, right? And I think that's a great show that has come to our shows, and it's really blowing up. So kudos to the Carnival Committee for that, and whoever put and on all the
one of my students is the chair Cartel Ford.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take some teacher kudos there.
Straight out of constituency 4.
That's right. It's high school, the University of Fairchild's High.
They're killing me
Bright
here.
star in the West.
Oh,
Woo!
boy.
Well, definitely the players all involved in that show. I think it's a great job. What I would say to them is to continue doing what they're doing, but look at also trying to get our artists to get the music out there to the point where the pan can pick up the music and engage those songs on a show like that. Because, and why I say that, one of the things I noticed is that a lot of the songs that they played were a lot of songs from outside of St. Kitts. There was a lot of songs from Trinidad, and but in having a conversation with one of the pan players, they indicated that it was easier for them, because for them to pick up the music from the local artists here, it seemed like it was more work they would have to do to get that music out there. So in a nutshell, while we have that show it's picking up momentum and it showcased the talent of the pan players, I think it's an opportune time for the pan players to also showcase our music, right? This is the right time. I mean, we don't want the world to not know about good music from St. Kitts, right? So we put it out there, we put the music out there, people look to us, and then come music festival, right? It's easier to pull, because people are gonna wanna come to hear what we have here. We shouldn't wait for it to come music festival to decide what all good artists should be on that show.
Yes.
So I think this is the opportune time. I think Miss Harley Shannon is doing a great job, and to get the artists to come out early with their releases and just try to push these guys to the limit.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever considered participating in the soca competition? And if not, why not?
Great question. Look, I think when I finished with the band in the States, in New York at that time, where I now reside in Maryland, but I did think about it, right? But the way I would want to do it, again, if you ever saw when we were growing up, we used to dance, we used to break dance. I played basketball, I like to win, So I feel if I don't have the right resources, to take it to that level, I'm not going to do it. This was just my contribution, and I have contributed over some of the years songs, right? I mean, there's another track called Carnival Love, which talks about carnival. I've done other songs in the past, like I said, and if I'm going to compete, I want to come with a good backdrop, a good, band to back me up. Not saying that they're not great bands here, they are, right? But the way I would come out, I would put on a show, right? And just to highlight, not that I don't work for any of these guys here, right? But I saw something that stood out to me the other night on the same show, which was Ras Kelly. He came on, and by the way, I'm a New Vibes guy. I love New Vibes.
Yeah, Sugar Band.
Yeah, Sugar Band, definitely. But what I saw Ras Kelly do, I thought maybe some of our guys need to look to that, because he's from back, from some years back, and his performance started with the hits, right, that a lot of people could relate to, that we were familiar with, and then he led right up to his latest track.
There's a portfolio of work to pull from.
Right, but it's not just the portfolio, it's the hits, it's the familiarity.
Yes.
Right, and I'm hoping that more of these artists can definitely do that, because when they do that, right, they get to pull the old folks who remember what the hits were, but they also educate and kind of showcase to the youths who are right now the future of our nation, really, right? So a lot of folks still don't know what great music we have in the past because it hasn't been exposed. I mean, prime example, I think, not that I'm touting my horn or anything, but I think, you know, this track, you know, Happiness, there's even Revelers in the Street, another track that's on the same album, just speaks to good music and a good vibe and melody, right? So
how do you propose, you mentioned resources needed for things to become better. How would you propose to them how they can acquire the said resources that you mentioned?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, it has to be some degree of trust, right? But and money, right? That's the first thing. I mean, but money should never be an excuse, right, to not be able to do something, right? You know, if you're passionate about a cause, right, and you put aside good incentives, you propose incentives that's going to stimulate and engage people. It doesn't necessarily have to be $20,000, right? But you have a diaspora outside of our country, of course. The diaspora is the outside world, where we have natives, whether they're in Canada, United States. You can engage them, right, to either, you know, work with them so that they can make contacts, and it's about getting, you know, like for example, I'm outside there, but an artist here doesn't have to be paid all these dollars to get something done, but hey, I might know somebody who might know someone else to get them to come out there and do a performance or to record, right? Or to do a show or something. I mean, we have individual talent here that will get saturated if we don't move beyond the shore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact.
Yep.
We only so many people in numbers.
Yeah.
And we're more than numbers. We're more than sand on the seashore. We're more than numbers. So we just have to move beyond 50,000 or 60,000 people. Right.
That's what I think. We need to go out there and see what's out there, and then we will understand what we can do to make ours better.
Well, I think we already know that. We
okay.
already know that because everyone has phones, right? Everyone has connection, internet.
Yeah.
So we all know what's going on out there.
Okay.
But how do we blow it up big?
Yeah.
Right? Our carnival is getting really bigger.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
Yeah, it's
biggest.
It's getting bigger.
You don't find?
Trinidad is there.
No, he said ours.
Well, ours is growing. So,
Ours,
yeah.
not Trini's.
No, he said it. You said ours is the biggest.
No, he said it's getting bigger.
No, it's getting
I said
bigger,
it's
and
getting
I said
bigger.
this year
Yeah,
is the biggest. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I would like to year, I've never heard numbers, and I think you know, that type of statistic always serves. It serves good purpose because with data, you can't make any. You could talk random and say, well, yeah, it was the biggest. But really, was it?
But when you have data,
what are the numbers?
You
when
can
you have
self-correct, so you can.
I mean, that's kind of like the backdrop. Yeah, you can. It's looking one way and actually being that way based on numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so it's like
you need the statistics.
It has to be numbers. Tell me last year was 20,000, and then this year it's 50. Don't just tell me because it looked like, and you see more people in the band or
I think it's more though.
Yeah,
I don't have the numbers,
again,
but it was
Well,
pretty
for
deep.
me, I think what the country leaders are trying to do is to commodify the culture and make the culture and the carnival a product for export and to attract the regional and international viewer who wants that product and services for enjoyment, that revelry. I don't think we have reached there. I think St. Kitts again is starting to love our culture. St. Kitts again is starting to come out and support our culture. But in terms of the commodification of culture to be a premium export or sustainable product, you know, like I went to Trinidad very young. I get to make mass with Peter Minshall. I get to be on the road with some of the best bands and you know, like I studied creative art. So to know what is there and what is premium and to come back home, a lot of the fets are recycled. They didn't even have the manners to change the names. A lot of the ideas are not innovative, but they're new to us. They're new to the society of Kitishan, who is used to a particular thing. So in terms of making the carnival product innovative, I don't think I've seen that yet, because I've actually seen premium carnival products throughout the region and had the opportunity to study premium carnival products and services. I think what we are lacking in St. Kitts and Nevis, if I'm permitted to say, is identity in carnival. Identity is missing in carnival for us. We do not have a carnival identity. And so if we don't have a carnival identity, we can't have a premium product, because our carnival is a mimicry for me of Trinidad.
It's derivative.
Even the concept of panorama, cool effect, like we don't even have the manners to change the name. So what you're counting on is those people who have never flown, never lived in, never experienced, never studied, to think it is new or innovative. But what we're actually doing is copy and pasting and bringing the same experience to new people. But to say I'm seeing something, and it's great, but you know, at 17, as I said, I was making mass with Peter Minchell. I was on the road with the best. I was on the ground in Trinidad. In the air, I was in the hills in Laventil. I was everywhere. I was in the west. I was in the east. I don't even know why they sent me go study, because grades was 8. I was across. I was on the stage. I was living for the stage, man.
Right.
I was doing the most. So
Savannah grass.
Palans. So and from living in Trinidad for 4 years, I don't think I've ever actually come back out to carnival in St. Kitts. Because it's like when you got a good man, and then you know the next one is like, yeah, like where's my trip to Miami? You want to carry Uncle T's all the time? and I'm not being.
Can I be your interviewer? What would make the carnival more unique?
Identity.
No, you said the identity, but where would you start? Would it be the music? Would it be parade day? Would it be? I mean, because technically it's the same thing throughout the entire region. So,
but the Kitishan is not the Trinidadian. We have very different identities. I think this is what I think.
So how?
And you might. And I'm an educator.
Right.
To me, identity comes about through intellectualism, a combination of intellectualism and engagement with the ordinary man. You cannot have an identity and you don't have a library. You ever got the library? Ain't even a real library.
So can
if you don't have Kitishans, intellectualizing what the ordinary Kitishan does, and not standardizing, but writing in black and white and experimenting and freedom to speak and to create that Kitishan identity, then we're going to have to copy and paste, because we have not standardized our own, we have not concretized our own.
So is that true throughout the entire Caribbean?
I think
outside of Trinidad.
I think Trinidad has set a standard.
Right, but I'm saying, you said it's no uniqueness to St. Kitts, so I'm saying, is there uniqueness elsewhere?
I think Trinidad.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Trinidad. Outside of Trinidad, is there any other?
Tobago is very different. I think Dominica is very different.
So there's a uniqueness.
Yeah, because they have done the decades. You have Keith Nurse, who speaks to the commodification of culture. You have Professor Joanne Tull. You have Marshall, you have Naipaul, you have Walter Rodney. There's an intellectualization of carnival and an identity. Carnival is a theory, it's a thing, it's a way of life. You have Chartdust, who is a university professor and a PhD, who within his craft and his practice intellectualizes Calypso. So go ahead.
Okay, they hung up. We had a bunch of okay.
You have Kitchener, Lord Kitchener. When you study him and his practice,
right,
he would have left a legacy and a work.
Right.
So you have. It's a body of work. It's a body of work for a long time that I've had the opportunity not just to go to the Dimash Grand, to go to the tent, but I can also go to a library.
And so you were saying there's none of that here. That's.
Have you ever been?
I'm
to the
asking questions. I'm just.
Okay, guys, hold on a thought. Let's take this call. Folks, for you just joining us, it's 9:45. We have the distinct pleasure of having this songwriter behind our theme song, Nardo HD, Bernardo Fips, in studio. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you guys.
Hey,
good
what's
morning,
up?
everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is a good conversation for all those persons who's into entertainment and you know, like, you know what I'm saying. But my thing is you know, it's a lot of work to put in, man. And you know, they're talking a lot about this creative economy and stuff, but not just the government, man. Individual persons, they have a lot of people in the federation who got a lot of money, and they're sitting on their money. They got to come up with ideas and start investing in the people. You know what I mean? Sports and entertainment is two areas where is being neglected in the federation, Sinkis and Nevis. You know, out here in the outer world, they have people making a lot of money in sports and entertainment. You know, they have a lot of local talent there in the federation. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys I know at some point they'll be happy to know that they can make some money out of their craft. So who's going to put in the work? You know, how this talent is going to get harnessed and, you know, bring out to the outside world. Look at Jamaica, how the reggae artists then there, you know, has been able to get out on visas to travel out to, you know, perform. And, you know, Sinkis and Nevis need that type of stuff. You know what I mean? We're not seeing that happening in the federation at all. You know, me myself, I know a person, you know, from Nevis who is being, you know, singing songs, and he looking for an opportunity to come out here. We need agents on the ground that can facilitate like visas for the artists and them, so the artists then can come out and travel out. And recently somebody threw out something on the table this week when I heard somebody said they passed and they noticed the DJ was spinning a lot of reggae music during the carnival. You know, I mean, I know countries like Nigeria, they have a limit on the amount of spins like foreign music gets. Is anybody looking towards that type of stuff to preserve the culture and the music? I would think that there should be only a certain amount of foreign genres be spinned on the radio stations. Like, you know what I mean? A limitation so the local music can get more spins. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can get the guests to talk to that type of stuff. And the thing what they call SCAP, where they're trying to get the artists them to get paid for royalties and stuff like that. Like moving in that direction is very slow because, you know, I know the radio stations they're playing people's music, but they're not paying royalties and stuff like that. So this is where stuff's supposed to be moving. But going in that direction is very slow because changes they're supposed to come, but you know they don't want to make the changes to facilitate these things to happen. So the local artists they're still staying a bind, and you know, like you said, Sinkis and Nevis, in regard to the entertainment and music industry, it seems isolated. So we out here in the outside world, man, we just want to see our local artists get more opportunity to come out, and we can't have a conversation like this without mentioning Byron Messiah, who has striked it, you know, on the international scene. I mean, how long it took him to break out, so how longer another artist from Sinkis and Nevis is going to break out? So, you know, great conversation, man, and, you know, I could get your guests to talk to some of my points. Thanks a lot.
On that thought, Nado, what's your take on Byron Messiah and his ascent to mainstream stardom?
Well, you know, I have to be careful about this because
I'm sipping my tea.
I have to be careful about this. You know, again, an artist doesn't really like to critique or to because music is about creativity. Yes. So, you know, I don't want to be placed in a position to critique, right? But I will say his success, whether it's considered overnight for some or considered a formula, kudos to him. I hope he continues on a path that leads to more and more success. And I hope that, management does a really great job in keeping him relevant and sustainable, because I spoke initially about music being timeless, right? And the messaging in your music has to be timeless for it to have longevity. So to him, I would say, just continue doing what you're doing and remember, the messaging to remain timeless.
Yeah.
So that's all I would say about Mr. Messiah.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you earlier. I know you guys, BQE used to, you guys used to open for a lot of. Tell us some of the acts you guys ended up playing with, because I know that would have been a thrill for you.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have done for small acts. We've done for jam band WCK.
Wow.
I played alongside Burning Flames. I think it was WCK at Riverside Park in New York. That year, they had a track called "White Men Can't Jump," and the whole Caribbean found out who BQE was at that event. So we've had. Yeah, I've actually sang at the Apollo as well too.
Oh, cool.
So, so the band is, that back then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I want to address the caller just briefly.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
We have a caller here now, so you can do the two after.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, good morning to all. Just to build off of what Michelina mentioned in terms of specific identity, I think it's something that we don't do well here in St. Kitts in particular. Not just in terms of carnival and music, but overall. Because, take for example, when we drive around, we see monuments of Thomas Warner and that sort of thing. But we have Beto Douglas, we have Marcus of the Wood. And when you visit places like Jamaica, they celebrate their icons, their revolutionary, and they build an identity around these people. And Jamsa, the other day, you and I were talking about it, and you have to consider a situation like this. There would be no Superman without Lex Luthor. Take our historical representative, like Marcus of the Woods, and start to build stories around him where we have someone that he stood up to. Mrs. O'Flaherty wrote short stories on that before she passed. We had other persons come on, even Socrates on Voices spoke to many situations like that. And then when you look at the cultural side of things as well, instead of taking and rubber stamping someone else's commercial product, let us start to look at taking things like, for example, neighbor business, the sailors, the mummies, and how can we now take that and package it in such a way where it still maintains the authenticity, but then it's palatable to the persons that we're trying to get a sale from. And then in so doing, we have now created a specific identity that is, synonymous to St. Kitts and Nevis.
I agree.
Build on our cultural heritage. We still have people around that are quite familiar with a lot of these things. We have historians and researchers out there who have a wealth of knowledge, but we're not doing a really good job whatsoever in terms of taking that and really utilizing it to its full potential. And I think that is where the money is and what would really set St. Kitts and Nevis apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is this: we are the first settled British colony, and in many ways, a lot of the history throughout the region started here. And we need to capitalize on that and start to implement it in a lot of what we do. And until we start to really consider that, because unfortunately, we hear a lot of the time, oh, I don't like to think about that because it reminds me of slavery and this and that. And I'm not trying to trivialize persons' personal feelings. But at the same point in time, I think a lot of that is very short-sighted in the sense that, yes, this did happen. But how am I now going to take that, weaponize it, and utilize it to my advantage and stick it to the man and show that in spite of that, this is what me and my ancestors were able to do.
I agree.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Great
very
way.
much.
Thank you.
And just quickly want to say, I remember the former director of culture, Biff. This always stuck with me. They took a team about 3 years ago for Carry Festa, right, in Trinidad, and he said they kept calling back the masquerades. The masquerades were supposed to perform one night, and they kept calling them back. They ended up performing every single night they were there because
They're
the
original.
Trinidadians and the other the other islands were amazed. Like, what?
They're original
Masquerades?
and
Yeah.
they're preserved very uniquely in St. Kitts and Nevis. So we might not be the originators of masquerade, but our ability to curate and preserve, because the masquerades have at least 6 different.
I think we've been credited with being the creators, actually.
Okay, we have at least 6 different dances. They have chants, and it's an intricate story behind each dance and the costume. So when you are doing cultural studies and carnival studies, you have to investigate the contribution of the different islands, and that is one of the things that we are uniquely appreciated for. But back to what the caller said, the concept of identity towards sustainability is relevant. As beautiful as our carnival is, and Minister, you have done an incredible job. The ministry, your team, it is lovely, but it is not original. Those of us who have been to carnivals throughout the Caribbean could pinpoint to, by name, by model, by business model, 6 fetes from different places. And so missing that kittition element, negating that kittition element to tap into the commodification of standard, of be like Trinidad, of be like Miami, we are missing the opportunity for sustainability.
Okay, but we have final remaining moments with our honored guest.
Yes.
Nardo HD Bernardo Fips. He's the singer of our theme song that you hear here on Island T. And Nardo, I want you, before you go, to tell people where they can buy your music if they have a mind to.
Okay.
iTunes and
Right,
your social media and stuff.
I'll do that, but just quickly, I'll try to take 30 seconds.
Yeah,
'cause I
yeah,
think we wrap up
sure.
in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to just simple. Yes, much has to be done on the island, in the nation, St. Kitts and Nevis. But I think what has to happen is that, look, St. Kitts, whether it's 50,000 now, 60,000, there's also a big population outside of the country. And until this nation starts to engage and keep that diaspora as a part of what we do here on the island, or what happens on the island, it's the only way that I think artists here will get and this is not just singing or dancing or acting. This is sports as well. This is education as well. There are people outside who have a real interest in helping here and engaging. For example, Burning Flames, when they came big, or even going back to Messiah, it was somebody outside, wasn't a local, but go back to Bob Marley, go back to Third World. These guys outside of Jamaica, they had Jamaicans, they had people outside who were able to be agents and who were able to engage and book shows and promote them. Big thing, pen relays, right? I took part in my track years every year at pen relays,
Really?
right? Yeah, I ran Division 1 track as well.
That. Okay.
So yeah, for St. Francis College in Brooklyn. But what I'm saying is that at the Penn Relays, do you think it's because Jamaica is just, it has a record, a history for great runners? Yeah, they put the work in on the island, but Jamaica continues to engage the people outside of Jamaica.
Yes.
So when the youths come to Philadelphia, they come to Philly for Penn Relays, there are people there who's going to house them, reduce costs that maybe government has to spend out of their pocket because they have associations there. So if you're not going, there's a real problem. The real problem is when we leave here and we go out there, there's a kind of, well, you out there and stay out there and we're not going to engage you guys. And then come elections, you want to bring everybody back home. So you have to engage, make those outside be a part of it, right? And if, whether it's, again, someone outside being a promoter, being an activist, being an ambassador, I'm sure this year you've seen that. You've seen a lot of people outside who've picked up ambassadorial roles.
Yes.
And it's not a mistake why the results, whether politically or athletically or whatever, is showing, right? It's because you've engaged the people who are from here. We need to stop not engaging our nationals.
I think they're trying, though. In their defense, that was the theme of the Miss St. Kitts Nevis pageant, the benefit of 40 years of diplomacy and diplomatic relations.
Because you see that nice scholarship that the Queen won last night because of engagement.
Yeah, she won a full scholarship.
If I'm correct, I think that's probably the biggest payout of any body, right? And again, it's some. I mean, I think I know the individual, the ambassador, right?
Do we have an education ambassador, or you mean the pageant contestant?
You mean the investment ambassador?
Well, I think
right?
Hattie is from. She is. I mean, it's it speaks to what power of attainment. Yeah, we can attain, and even again with the writing and the music here, you can have a collab. We can have collabs. It's not something, or you can have someone write for you if you want, right? But that's the kind of engagement has to happen, and not, well, you out there, so we don't need you guys. Yeah.
You have to work together.
I hope that addresses the caller, but it's there. It's there.
So now to HD, tell us where persons listening can buy Happiness.
iTunes. Music is on iTunes. Music is on Spotify. Music is it's an entire album, 4 original tracks, and 4 instrumental, just for listening pleasure if you don't want to listen to lyrics.
Actually, I'm not going by that because I didn't even realize you had put that.
Oh yeah, it's so I think one is Carnival Love, that was written for the song competition the year when COVID affected everybody and they had to do a song competition. So there's a song called Carnival Love. There is Revelers in the Street. Happiness found its way, remastered back onto that. And there's another track called Strong, which is more like reggae kind of soca kind of vibe. But iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. It's on all the platforms.
Okay. What about your social media?
I'll tell you, I had a social media, but I don't really need it at this point because I'm not, actively trying to get out there and perform or anything like that. Okay. But just if you want, just support the music. Like I said.
Okay. So what if they decided to give you like a 15 minutes on the music festival, 20 minutes? So
that's something.
You turn them
that's something I'll consider. And,
okay.
And think, and definitely I'll have a big band.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there somehow.
I would have a big band.
Just throwing it out there somehow.
I'll have a big band, and it will be.
And Marsha.
And just so you know too, I forgot to. I just want to make sure I acknowledge again.
Yeah.
Paul Creeley, Sid Caesar.
Yes, absolutely.
Corey. Blue, Massa Blue.
Yeah.
Rastickle worked on the song "Revelers in the Street" as well. So again, it was me outside there and someone local again. So.
Okay.
Nice.
This was an honor. Nardo HD, Bernardo Fips, Nardo, for those of you who can't spell, Nardo HD.
Oh, boy.
Go to iTunes, buy the music. You hear the song every morning. I mean, it must have gotten under your skin by now. So
Yeah.
go and support Nardo HD. And Marsha, how about giving him 20 minutes on the St. Kitts Music Festival? I mean, it could be done.
Who's Marsha?
The minister. The minister.
It's like, who's that?
Minister. The
I'm
minister.
looking for the person in the studio.
The minister responsible for music festival.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I could see the core and featuring Nardo HD. Right?
Jackson,
Sounds
book
good,
an
right?
appointment with the minister.
Yes, please. And ensure that Nardo gets on there so the music festival can start us with happiness.
Trust
There
me,
you go.
They are listening to the show.
There you
I
go.
keep saying it all the time. The ministers listen to
So
the
if
show.
they're listening, there's someone who engaged me yesterday saying that they were not, they tried to get the budget, the details and information on the budget online. So if they are listening, guys, persons out there, they're trying to get information on the budget online and they're saying that they're not able to access. So if that is true, then hopefully
system.
some access is
easy always have to come with the police. Right?
Well,
if they're listening and you
I'm just teasing
carry
you.
the voice of the
I
people.
just played. I'm just playing.
So yeah.
Jams always have to get easy.
Yeah. So
and he's the one persuading Marsha to book it.
So listen, man. Jams, I appreciate all that, but one of the things,
Honorable Minister,
I just want to say, I truly consider myself like an activist, in a sense, for just social recognition of causes, and I do a lot of that behind the scenes. So I'm not out there really trying to get that type of thing, right?
I know.
But behind the scenes, I try to activate and motivate.
Yeah.
Right, because it's just that's the only thing I can leave behind.
Yeah.
A legacy.
It's just that, but you just gotta understand my perspective.
I
It
know.
always
I know you
rankles
want
me.
a show. You like shows. That's what you like.
No, it's not. No, it's not even that.
And I used to. It
rankles
and when
me.
back then when I did that, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
the thing
young.
is, the thing that rankles me is that a lot of our artists don't get the shine that they deserve. They don't get the recognition that they deserve. That's my whole thing.
I think it's the support, though.
Well, yeah,
It's
support.
the
all
support,
that,
no,
yeah.
because I was speaking to one of my creative writing sponsors. I don't know if you know Seth Godin. Brilliant marketer, marketing strategist, entrepreneur, educator. And I was working on a project, Jumpstart, and I didn't show him the project, but I was talking about the project, and he looked at me, and I revere this man, and he said, MCH, you can't put junk into the world. And I was just so deflated, right? But I was like, I knew the project wasn't good. I was willing to cheat and say, well, it's good enough, nothing perfect. But he literally held me to the standard of, if you want to be in the game, if you want to create quality work that is generous, you have to put quality work out there. And this is a man, Jamster, that has 21 New York Times bestsellers. Like him, he's an international, well-renowned, world-class author, marketer. And he took a call with me. He was like, Michelina, if the work's not good, it's just not good. However, we are here to support you. So when you identify what you want to support, raise your hand and we will come for you. That is the benefit of being in those communities.
Yes.
We will come and give you what you need as support, but you have to do the work of identifying what you want as support, and you have to create good work.
Okay. Guys, we have to get some
Okay.
pictures. We have to get some
Yes.
pictures with Nardo. We gotta wrap
This is
up.
the first time he's asked for photos.
Yes.
Oh, really? Wow.
He liked the music
two
people.
of them.
He did say, there's a fraternity in music, and that's one of the greatest benefits of,
Yeah.
over 2 years, 20 years in the industry, almost 2 decades. So
When we look at it, that this is the final show before we
The
come
n-
back for the new
New
year.
Year, yes.
And oftentimes when you think about New Year's resolution and persons ask what you want, I often say, I've said before, happiness. And so,
Yeah.
if it is that we could
That's
end-
your word for 2024?
It has been my word for some time.
No, happiness is a canary yellow T-shirt.
Kortensia, what's your word? Have you thought about a word?
No.
My word would be kindness. What's your word?
Listen, I'm just grateful.
So you're grateful?
Yeah.
Gratitude?
And I would say grace now that you made me think of it.
Grace. Okay.
Jam, so what's your word?
Canary yellow.
I'm
playing. I'm just
So
playing.
on that note, guys,
I'm just playing.
can we have our outro and
Our intro be our outro.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With
yeah,
lyrics.
Of course, of
with
course,
lyrics.
Of course,
With lyrics, Jam, so.
Of course, with pleasure. And Nado,
No.
it was nice having you. And
Oh, okay.
What you thought I was gonna say? Sing? You thought I was gonna tell him sing? Oh no, we're already overtime. But no, this is great. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the carnival, and you're going to the Calypso show tonight, right? So I'll probably bump into you.
It's a tight thing for me because I have a packed schedule from since
Oh,
I
I can
got here.
imagine.
And really,
I can imagine.
just like just hanging out with family and friends.
Yeah, I know. And it
and I
was-
brought my kids, but
yeah.
you can, the happiness will be, like there's a track on there called, I've been in the streets before.
Yeah.
So for Carnival Parade Day.
Yeah.
I'll be on the road.
okay.
So
okay.
I'm disclosing it
Okay,
officially.
good,
You
good,
can
good.
find me on the road.
Good. Okay.
Right.
Nice. And it was
In
good
full
that you,
costume.
It was good that you. It was good that you found time to come spend some time with
Hey,
us. Yeah.
I had to pay my respect and honor to you and the team that again doing a fantastic job for the
Thank you.
nation. So,
And so are you.
Thank
and
you.
I feel like you need to get some. You need to get some shine. So you're gonna have to maybe come out of semi-retirement or whatever.
Jamster is booking you for music festival.
Yeah. Marsha, what's up?
I've been in these streets before. Every time
right.
I get that crave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nado in these streets for Sugar Masters wrap up. That's gonna be fun. Okay. So great, guys. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year.
Have a wonderful New Year when it comes.
Yeah.
2024.
Just one quick thing. I need some
Yeah,
tea,
sure.
man. Can I get some tea?
There's no tea. It's
Drank
done.
the tea off.
Sorry.
But you have water though.
To wet down the place.
Remember, it has to be seawater, because remember there was this whole thing about you guys know about that on Juve.
No.
That they wet down, they had to use seawater because they were mindful of the fact that water is in short supply.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So
All right.
I thought that was actually a very mindful thing to do on their part. you
Once
know.
it didn't touch any metal.
Yeah.
Because you know what seawater can do.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Okay, guys, let's get the pictures going.
All right.
Not
I
itchy.
play this as I don't say nothing.
Not
you know?
itchy.
You guys take too much pictures in
Yeah. And he only want to take one picture.
Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Whatever,
Johnson,
man.
you looked for that one today.
Whatever, man.
So take the photo and he'll be in the photo as well. And we're gonna send it out.
Live up.